How's it going, everyone? My name is George, and this is a little something different kind of video. Basically, it's the first part of a mini series that I want to do, that I want to get done, hopefully at some point by November, depending on how on schedule I am on these videos. So, and also because today's my birthday, I'm turning 25 today, and I want to do a little something special, something different from a change, and basically sharing my YouTube experience and how I later came to doing a YouTube channel. Because while I am 25 years old, it's also been over 13 years since I first discovered YouTube, and I've noticed a lot has changed with YouTube, whether it be what kind of videos I watch, or like how things are in the YouTube communities. And this also kind of came from when I was planning on doing weeks ago a video sharing my support and why I stopped watching Fandom Menace channels, and it turned into something else because it wasn't just Fandom Menace channels that I watched for a certain period of time and stopped watching. It's been other stuff. So I wanted to share what I think about some of the stuff that I still watch today from like 13 years ago, share my thoughts on what were the first videos I watched, and here we go. Because the way I found YouTube was pretty interesting. It wasn't like I was Googling YouTube one day and came across YouTube. I was 11 years old. It was a week or two before I started school again. I was going into middle school, and I was using the internet a lot more that year in general. And I came across something that said something about Spider-Man 4. And if you recall at the time, this was 2008, Spider-Man 4 was announced. It was starting to become an idea. Sam Raimi was coming back. Tobey Maguire was in talks of coming back. I think Kirsten Dunst was also in talks to come back. And I found a fake Spider-Man 4 trailer. And the one I specifically remember coming across that sent me down a rabbit hole of Spider-Man 4 trailers was the one where the Lizard and Carnage were the villains. I know at the time because a lot of the fake Spider-Man 4 trailers had Lizard and Carnage being the main villains of the movie. Even though it turned out Raimi wanted Vulture. The fake Spider-Man 4 trailer that I came across, I would watch multiple times because it seemed the most realistic at the time, basically used the raptors from Jurassic Park as the Lizard, and they used one of the monsters from Resident Evil as Carnage. And they used footage from the previous Spider-Man films. And I knew even back then it was fake, but it seemed pretty convincing and real still. And it sent me down this rabbit hole of Spider-Man 4 trailers. Some of them were very good, some of them not so good. But then it also led me to another fake trailer, and this one was pretty convincing because it looked like a movie trailer until it turned out to be an April Fool's prank. It was the Legend of Zelda movie trailer. And IGN shared it. And yeah, it looked so real at the time. It looked like it would have been goofy, obviously, but yeah, I was convinced until I found out in the comments section that it was like a prank. But that sent me down watching other Legend of Zelda related videos. And by the way, before I continue, I'll put the links down below for that Spider-Man 4 trailer. I know it said it was updated on 2011, but the one that was uploaded on 2008 I couldn't find. Someone must have refilmed it and posted it a few years later, which is ironic because at that point Spider-Man 4 was canceled. And I also will post a link to the Legend of Zelda movie trailer that was an April Fool's joke. So basically it sent me down like other paths on YouTube. So I was watching Legend of Zelda walkthroughs, which were helpful because I was playing a lot of Legend of Zelda that year. It helped me discover Twilight Princess. I didn't play Twilight Princess when it first came out. I did get it that upcoming birthday, and I love that game. But it was very helpful when completing Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask because I had them on the collector's edition, but I was struggling with the Water Temple in Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. and some of the side quests with Majora's Mask I was also struggling with. So I basically was using YouTube as like walkthrough for Legend of Zelda games. Also watching Legend of Zelda parody videos, whether they were animated parody videos or like a bridge series. And one of the Legend of Zelda bridge series, because there were quite a few that I came across, was the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask bridge done by Adam West's Lapdog. Now, this is one of the channels that I still watch, even though he doesn't make as videos as often as he used to. But that was my introduction to a bridge series that were on YouTube. Most people, like, obviously would say for them it was Dragon Ball Z Abridged by Team 4 Star or Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged by Little Karibo. But before I discovered them, I discovered Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Abridged, done by Adam West Lapdog. And even though he's not as big as Team 4 Star or Little Karibo, I still found his series to be funny. So that was my first YouTube Abridged series. And as far as the Spider-Man route goes, the Spider-Man 4 fake trailers helped me come across Spider-Man the Animated Series again. It had been a long time since I'd seen it on TV, so I was watching that again on YouTube before they were obviously taken down due to copyright. But at the time, I remember not just Spider-Man the Animated Series, but other like animated series that I grew up watching, Rugrats, Scooby-Doo, Hey Arnold. They were getting posted a lot on YouTube because I think it took longer for them to take down the videos for copyright reasons. And another one that I remember watching was Spectacular Spider-Man on there. Now, at the time, it was on the CW, but season 2 was either on Disney XD or Nicktoons. I can't remember which one specifically, but I didn't have either one. So someone would post it. I can't remember who because their channel got taken down due to copyright. That helped me catch up on season 2 of Spectacular Spider-Man. Season 1 I would watch on CW, but season 2 I had to rely on YouTube. I had to rely on this YouTuber who was going out of his way posting season 2 of Spectacular Spider-Man. And also I came across like factual Spider-Man videos. So one of them who, now this is another channel that I still watch today, and he still makes videos, is Decompose. His first name is Kevin, but his YouTube name is Decompose, and he would do these Spider-Man 101 videos, Batman 101 videos, these Transformer toy reviews. And I remember coming across him, and he was very entertaining and also very factual. And today he still is. He doesn't make, I know for a time he wasn't making videos as often as he used to, but he was still making videos, and he's making videos still today. He's actually doing live streams now. But at the time, I would learn a lot about Spider-Man from him. He would do these 101s on certain Spider-Man story arcs and characters. And I've always been a big Spider-Man fan, but I didn't read the comics all that much. There were just some comics that I had. But like, very knowledgeable on stuff that I wasn't all that familiar with. I wasn't familiar on the Clone Saga. I wasn't following the One More Day, Brand New Day stuff. And he wasn't a big fan of those story arcs, but just like his point of view as to why he didn't like those arcs really spoke to me as a Spider-Man fan and really showed how passionate he was about it. And he was also the first movie reviewer I watched. Now, he wouldn't review movies as often as later on Jeremy Jahns, Chris Stuckman, but he would review the movies like Transformers, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Dark Knight, and he was the first one whose reviews I would watch. And now, obviously, the movie reviewing community has grown a lot since then. He's not even, I would say, considered part of that because he talks about comics, only certain movies, like comic book movies. But that was like the first time I would watch YouTube movie reviews. And I don't think at the time Chris Stuckman, Jeremy Jahns weren't around. I know I didn't discover them until later on. And I'll get to them when I get to like what year I found them, like when I started watching them. But yeah, Decompose is one of the people who still makes videos today that I still watch. Like 13 years I've been following his videos, and he's still very entertaining. Now, does that mean I always agree with his points? No. I remember back in 2013, he did make a video on Man of Steel, and I know he didn't like Man of Steel. He took down the video because I think he got a lot of flack for it. But even though I may disagree with him on how he felt about Man of Steel, I still like him. I still like his content. And I enjoy his reviews, his 101s. So that's a channel that basically has kept me engaged after 13 years. Now another channel that's kept me around, they changed their name. They used to be called Night Slash 2020, but now they're called TFX Productions. And basically, I found them in 2009, around the time Transformers Revenge of the Fallen was coming out. And he did these Transformer stop motion videos, and I was very entertained by them. And I think he also like kept me going on collecting Transformers, but I remember I was very entertained by his Transformer stop motions. I liked the stories. The video quality at the time may not have been all that great, but I really liked what he did, like how he his arc for Transformers, and it really shows that like people can be creative even when they're not in the industry. But yeah, that's a channel that I still watch today. He makes videos from time to time. I think he's trying to get back into continuing his Transformers stop motion series. But yeah, that's another one that's kept me watching him all these years. So basically, that's three channels that I kind of listed that I still watch, whether they make videos often or not. Decompose, Adam West's Lapdog, and TFX Production. Now, were there any channels that kind of lost me during this time period? Well, besides the channels that got deleted because they broke copyright rules for posting episodes of Scooby-Doo, Spider-Man the Animated Series, and other shows that I enjoyed, I know there were some Spider-Man stop-motion or Spider-Man action figure series that were going on. The way I discovered them, I think someone did an action figure series for Spider-Man 4. I can't remember like if they took it down or not. And some of the channels I kind of remember. I don't think they're around anymore, though. One channel name was Mr. Manny Man 2, and Keller 500, I think the other one's name was. There was one that did a superhero parody figure show, and this was before I discovered it's some random guy who's the most popular one when it comes to doing superhero figure series, particularly parodies. And that was Vibranium Productions. Now, I don't think they go by that name anymore. I don't really know because I kind of stopped watching them when they stopped doing the figure series. So basically, they did this thing called the New Thunderbolts where they had like figures, characters from Marvel and DC, some Spider-Man villains that became good guys or something like that. And they made like a parody series out of it. And they would cross over with like Nintendo and Sega characters. And I remember I was entertained by it. I thought the jokes were funny. And this was before I would later discover the It's Some Random Guy channel, who is even funnier, who makes videos, but not as often as he used to, but will from time to time. And I kind of stopped watching Vibranium Productions because they kind of changed the content around. And it wasn't bad content, but it was content that I wasn't all that interested in. So, and it's kind of the same thing with some of the other people that did like Spider-Man figure series. They kind of either stopped doing it or they took their channels down. And yeah, I guess when some people change their style or change the content, you're going to lose some subscribers or you're going to lose some followers who are watching it. And I know I was watching the YouTube poops were a lot popular at the time where they would like take clips from SpongeBob and make like a YouTube poop out of it. And they were funny. I think some of them either got taken down or they're still around. I can't remember specifically which ones. But that kind of summarized YouTube for me from 2008 to at least 2010. I know they would post actual official trailers for movies like Harry Potter, Transformers. Those were some of the movies I remember looking for trailers on. Obviously, video game content like video game walkthroughs. And yeah, at the time, I remember Jeremy Johns started in 2010, but I didn't watch him until a year later. That'll be the next video, talking about some of the YouTube movie reviewers I would watch. But yeah, some people I did discover later on, and I'll get to them in future segments. But yeah, those are just some of the channels that I would watch. Some of those channels I still watch today. Some of them, they're either no longer around, or I don't really follow them anymore because the content changed around. And yeah, even if the content's not bad, like it's not toxic, like you sometimes just lose interest. I do remember, I think, like, it was through iCarly I found out Fred, because I didn't know who Fred was. For those of you who remember, the guy that would make the Fred videos and the high-pitched voice, like, "Hey, it's Fred!" And it was through iCarly I discovered Fred, and I watched one of his videos, and it just didn't do it for me. So, yeah, that was the YouTube experience from 2008 to 2010, at least for me. Ultimately, in 2010, I did stop watching the Spider-Man 4 fake trailers, because early in 2010, they stopped with the fake trailers because the movie got canceled. But yeah, all in all, that was kind of what YouTube culture, I remember, at least my YouTube culture, what I was watching the first few years of YouTube were parodies, fake trailers, figure series, old cartoons until it got taken down. I would discover Little Kribo's Abridged series in 2009. Not Team 4 Star yet. That's going to be in the next video. But yeah, all in all, those are some of the channels. Now, I'll put the links down below for some of the channels I'm still loyal to, if you guys are interested in checking out those channels. I highly recommend, definitely recommend Decompose's channel. Very knowledgeable on comic books, Transformers. Gives very interesting opinions, whether you agree with them or disagree with them. And he's also very passionate. So, yeah, this is just the first episode of what YouTube culture was for me. And obviously at the time I wasn't planning on making a YouTube channel. I was like 12, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old at the time. So it wasn't in the midst of making a channel. I was very shy back then. I was a lot different back then. So I don't know when the next part's gonna be. And I hope you guys enjoy this part. And I hope you guys kind of, it causes some of you people, not some of you people, some of you guys to remember what content you might watch when you first came on YouTube, how you discovered YouTube. It was pretty interesting how I discovered it. But anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with someone who might have watched some of this content that I watched or still watch today, who, you know, might have had similar YouTube experiences that I did. Tomorrow, I want to do my Venom Let There Be Carnage trailer. I did see it today, and I did enjoy it a lot. And I don't know when the next part's going to be. That'll be like 2011, 2013. That time period, like what I was watching and what I discovered. But until next time, guys, which hopefully will be tomorrow with my Venom review, take care.